Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Aquaponics World. And today I'm just going to be doing a quarter water change out. Last week I forgot to fill up my reserve tanks, and I didn't catch that until Friday. So I filled up these reserve tanks with tap water on Friday. They may have some chlorine left in them. Could kill the fish. I don't know. I'm hoping not, because the last thing I want to do is to put water conditioner in this water at this point, because I am feeding my plant with the water from this. So last thing I want to do is to have to do water conditioner. I always forget I'm trying to make these little clips 1 minute long, but I guess that's not really necessary anymore. I'm not really using this stuff for shorts, but it does help to do the videos little pieces at a time, so I can, do minor changes instead of having to redo the whole video. But anyway, I'm going to do a water change out today, and so that just basically means that I'm going to drain a quarter of the water out the window and put a quarter of the water back in, and I'm going to scrub off the sides and the bubblers and the bottom. And that's about all there is to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I was kind of concerned to feed them on the day, on the afternoon while I'm doing the water change outs, because I don't want anybody to freak out and be like, oh, there's all kinds of floaty things in there. But at the same time, I do want you guys to kind of see how I feed them, and it is lunchtime for them. I feed them 3 times a day. And they say to feed them the size of their eye, so like little pinch per fish. Like the size of this guy's eye is only like that big, swoosh. Anyways, little tiny pinch. But when you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think it's 15 of them. That's 15 little pinches, so it's a little bit more than just a pinch that they need. And I will try to prop this up so I can kind of show you guys what I'm feeding them. So I read the ingredients on this, and the tropical fish crisps are the same as the goldfish crisps. They come in 2 separate containers, right? They got tropical and then they got goldfish. But the ingredients on them are exactly the same. The only thing that I could find that was different was just that one of them had a little more fat in it. But anyway, so I just basically, I don't have a precise amount that I feed them, but I feed them a little handful each time that I feed them. And again, that's 3 times a day. I toss that in there. So let me go ahead and show you the top view so that you can see a little bit better about how much I'm feeding them. And I like the crisps because they kind of stay on the top for a little bit longer. And I don't know, they're easier to see what they're eating. But you'll see these guys, when they recognize that there's food in there, these guys will take off, especially the little ones, the glowfish. It will take off and start grubbing down. And the goldfish too. Usually Goldie just kind of chills, but Big Booty kind of gets up in it. And I believe this one here is Big Booty, only because she has a little bit of a different butt, and I remember Big Booty had a little bit of a different butt than Goldie and Sharky. And like I said, Sharky passed away, and Goldie, I believe, is this one, and Goldie hasn't been really too happy ever since his GoPro Sharky didn't make it. So they just kind of chill. These guys though, they're happy as could be. I only got one little tiny one left that's super small, but the rest of them have grown quite a bit. But yeah, that's how I feed them. And I guess I will go ahead and get started on draining a quarter of the water out. So anyway, enough about feeding them. I will go ahead and drain the water out the window. And so basically I just take this hose here and run it out my window and close the window on the hose, so it'll stay out the window there. And then I close the out valve and open this service valve. And that pumps the water out the window. I don't know why my phone won't clarify, but there you go. Got water peeing out the window there. And I'll just do that until some of this water drains out. And this time I'll probably just take out about a quarter of the water. And I don't know exactly where, but I really don't care if it's too yellow. I'm just gonna do a quarter of the water. So like I said, I don't know exactly where a quarter is, but I'm gonna say that's about a quarter of the water. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean the glass and fill that back up with clean water and call it. Until I can get a new fish tank, I mean, it's just gonna be yellow. That's all there is to it. I'm really disappointed in that. I had a good clear tank, and some people were saying, oh, you don't need to do it that often, you don't need to clean it that often, they're just selling you stuff and blah, blah, blah. Well, ever since I got those comments, I started doing it this way, and it's not coming out that well. And I don't mean to blame my audience, but at the same time, doing it the right way doesn't seem to actually be working very well. So all I know is that I have too many fish in there, and that's the reason. That is the reason that my fish tank is yellow, and that's fine. I'm okay with having a yellow fish tank. Really don't care. I just want the free NPK. And I say free even though it costs me thousands of dollars to have fish and tons of freaking work. It could be free NPK. You just have to do water changeouts every couple of hours. But this is the future of growing, so it is necessary for us to look into aquaponics, and that's why I'm doing this. It's not for the look of the fish tank. Whether or not the fish tank looks pretty is not my problem. My problem is trying to figure out if human beings are sustainable without any soil. And the only way that this is going to work out is if we do tests. So right now I've learned I have way too many fish, which I could have probably Googled that and found that out. But you know, when you're doing a fish tank, make sure you're following all of the instructions on it. And you know, and that means when you start up your tank, you get a 50-gallon tank, only get 2 goldfish. Don't get 15 glowfish to go with it. So right now all I'm doing is just taking this magnet here and getting it a little bit wet, and it's got one side is got the Velcro on it and the other side doesn't, so I'm running the Velcro side up the corners and dipping it into the water and just kind of scrubbing the best that I can with this Stupid little magnet. And yeah, this takes about an hour or so. Clean the glass off. It used to take me a few minutes to do it by hand, but somebody was saying it's not healthy for the fish to put your hand in the fish tank, and well, I don't want to risk the health of the fish, especially with somebody commenting that I shouldn't. So here we go. So this is what I'm doing, and then, you know, of course I'm doing the glass underneath the water as well. First thing I do is kind of go to about the middle point and scrub above the glass like this. And then the next thing that I do is I go down the side below the water line, because above the water line is usually the nastiest spot, but below the water line I'll see some, like, what looks like maybe brown or black mold almost, like growing on the sides. So I definitely want to scrub off any spots like that. I just run it across the bottom, and then scrub around the glass here on this half. And I just do this all the way around, all the sides. And of course I clean off the bubblers. And I clean off the bottom with my hand because the magnet doesn't work on the bottom. But that's the extent of this, and as soon as I'm done doing this, then I will add some more clean water back in. Almost forgot, I do want to change out this water once a week. So I'm just gonna take this out, and I did have those ants over there, so I just kind of moved it over here a little bit. But I'll take this tape off of here. And I guess I'll stick it to here for a second. I'm just going to grab this bottle here, and I was going to use micronutrients. So I was going to use a tablet from the store, but I decided I'd rather just see if I can grow it with just the NPK, because I think there might be micronutrients in the tap water. So I'm just going to go fill this up with some of the, I'm going to rinse it out and then fill it up with some of the dirty fish water. So yeah, so I'm just going to take my bottle and dip it in here, and I'm going to get about a half a bottle of water from here and fill the other half up with tap water so I can dilute the fish pee. So today I am trying to quit smoking cigarettes, and of course today is gonna be the most frustrating day I've ever had in my life. Yeah, that's too much water there. And if I could just move it down a little bit here. You know, I don't know, maybe it needs to just sit up on here like this. That's probably where it needs to sit, something like that. Alright, so that means that I need to raise the string up a little bit, which means that I have to pull this string and the knot at the same time. Until I get the roots in the water and the plant out of the water. So that's about where I want it. And then I'll just tape this to the side so it doesn't move around too much. You know, I would like to put some micronutrients in there, but I just feel like kind of defeats the purpose of everything that I'm working for here. You know, I'm pretty sure water does have some micronutrients in it, and like I said, they are micronutrients, so you don't need too much of it. The NPK are the macronutrients, and the NPK are definitely abundant in the dirty fish water. So hopefully I can keep the damn ants away from my plant. The ants seem to have been what was tearing them up, but I feel like I'm not getting enough nutrients as well, but we'll see. We got some dark green here, but that's because I broke up that micronutrient tablet last time. But anyway, I got a little crack in the cup right here, but there's leaking everywhere, but that's fine. So I got like half and half dirty fish water to regular tap water here. Got it full as I can, so if it rains, it'll just overflow. I want that water level to be exactly where the roots in the plant are. All right, now I can get back to filling up the fish tank. And I scrubbed off the bubblers, scrubbed off the sides, scrubbed off the bottom. So now I'm just gonna add some water. Again, I do have some reserve water back here, and this is so that I can get rid of the chlorine out of the tap water before I put it back into the fish tank. So what I want to do is just put the utility valve, or the utility hose, whatever you want to call this hose, into the reserve tank, and then just close the inlet valve and open the service valve, and that will suck the water from the reserve tanks that don't have any chlorine in them and put it through the filter back into the fish tank so that I can fill that back up. Like I've mentioned in other videos, the trick to filling the tank back up is one, to not overflow the tank, and one, to not suck up air from the empty reserve tank. So you want to make sure your hose is all the way at the bottom of your reserve tank, and that you don't suck it bone dry till there's nothing left in there and you're just sucking up air. And you want to make sure that you don't overflow this. So this is completely full now, and so what I can do is just go ahead and shut off this reserve valve and open this back up. So one of these fish tanks is about good for my quarter water change out. I believe this big tank's supposed to be 55 gallons, and these little tanks, I believe they were supposed to be 25 gallons, but that would be like half. And I know I didn't take out half of the water. So anyway, these are 55. I'd say these are more like 15. But anyway you look at it, you got to take out about a quarter of your water. And I'm starting to think that I may attempt to do another attempt at a pumpless, electricity-free tank for the glowfish, because the issue is, and I hate to say it, but the issue is if I had one more of these pumps and another one of these big tanks, I could separate these guys, and that's exactly what I need to do. But I can't afford to do that. That's $1,000 right there. So unfortunately, I do not have the cash flow to separate these guys. I made a mistake. I bought the glowfish because I thought I could keep them going. I realized that requires a lot of work. If you want to have an electric-free tank, an electricity-free tank, it definitely requires a lot of work. That's all I can say about that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people do it, but I am not yet that pro at this. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. The more people that subscribe, you know, the closer I get to monetizing these videos, and once they're monetized, then I can start spending money on this and start doing it as good as I want to do it. I can only do it as good as I can afford to do it. But the process is pretty simple. You know, you do a quarter water change out once a week, and you do your maintenance with your flue ball pump. You swap out your plant water once a week so that it's getting fresh fertilizer at least once a week. And you can use this dirty fish water for your NPK or your fertilizer for your plants. So, you know, overall it's a win-win. But I'm definitely thinking about separating these fish out so that I can get my clear tank back. Because before I put these glowfish in here, I had a crystal clear tank, and now I have a piss yellow tank, and it's really frustrating me. But that could be because I'm not smoking today. So anyways, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. At least once a week I'll do a video. I try to do a daily video on the squash, which the squash is about a month old. So I'm working on, you know, doing that completely aquaponics, a brand new style of cracky, the hanging cracky system. So it's a whole new thing, and I'm working on that, and hopefully that will work out. But stay posted on that, and hopefully we will be eating some squash here in the next couple of months. All right, guys, have a great day.